Hello my friends. In this lesson we want to talk about init and show directives. Before starting our projects and rendering Alpine.js, you can use init directive. For example, our message is hello, but before doing anything we want to change it to another word using init. To create good examples, I add text and create and span, then I write text, message. We can use init in 3 positions. First, inside data. Second, out of data. And third, you can define a function like toggle in Alpine.js data functions as init. And if you put this title, it will work like data. Well, I clear these lines. We have 3 parts that will be discussed in this lesson. The first one is that init is inside data. Here, div init console.log Alpine.js is run. Now if I refresh the page, you will see that Alpine.js is run is shown here, and the span text is changed to hello. To understand init better, I create an easier example. Assume that I want to change message in init. So instead of console.log I write message, for example hello world. Now I refresh the page, and as you see, init has changed the message and the new message is shown here. Actually it has been override. So the first step is that init should be inside data, and second is that you can put it outside of data. I write console.log, then I write Alpine.js is run. If I refresh the page, you will see that Alpine is run will be shown here, and so on. And the third one is that we can define it as one of data functions. Here I write it and I want to run something. I copy console.log here. And I don't need these lines. Actually, data has a function named init, and inside of init we can do some operations. It may be a simple text in console and also may change some variables. If I refresh the page, you see that Alpine is run is shown in console. If you want to understand init as well, imagine that we want to call some of contents from Alpine.js website and show them. Well, we define a variable here named posts in type of array, and it will include the contents in itself and show us. At first, post should be just an array, but when it begins or initiates, we should define some value for it. This .post equals to something. We can take some information from the server using Ajax. Now we don't want to talk about that. Well, you learned about init so far. There is no special point about that. As you know, init does some operations and changes some values. The next directive that we want to discuss is show. Show is one of the useful directives in Alpine.js. To be more clear, I put a toggle button here. We also have a directive named on, and I write on click. I will explain it later completely, but because I need it, I used it in this lesson. On is an event that we use for some elements, for example clicking on a button. I want to run toggle function when the button is clicked. Also, toggle's role is changing between true and false in display, so I want to run toggle function. We can write a text, for example show or hide. So when we click on a button, toggle will be run, and true or false will be shown on display. Now we say if display is true, show the text, and if it is false, hide the text. So I use show directive, and it says that if the condition is created, show the element, and if not, hide the element. Show just shows and hides the elements. In the next lessons we will talk about if directive, and it is similar to show, but it doesn't show elements in DOM. And in some special conditions, it will show that. Show creates elements, but in hide or show condition. F directive doesn't create the element, and if the condition exists, it creates the element. They are different in usage, and we will talk about if in the next lessons. I said show the text using message variable, and if the display is true, show it. Let's refresh the page to see what happens. As you see, we have show or hide button, and the message is hello. When the display is true, it shows hello. If I click on the button, the display will be false, and the message disappears. The next part that we will talk about is transition directive. If we use transition while using show, we will be able to show or hide the message. transition will be explained later, but I give an example about it this lesson. As you see, if I push Ctrl and space button, you will see another settings such as delay and duration and so on. We will talk about that in the next lesson. Now if I refresh the page, you will see that the hello comes and goes with transition. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Bye for now.